Hi folks, and welcome to Contemporary World Literature. I'm Dr. Rachel McWhorter, you can call me Rachel, and I'll be your instructor for the next 6 weeks. So this will be just a quick video to help you feel comfortable navigating our page and get some of the main expectations for the course down pat. So your homepage may look a little different at this point, as it will have our first week's announcement, but important, I want to draw your attention to checking out the announcements as our first priority. Every week on Monday morning, I will send you out one with a reminder of what's due that week. We have things due Mondays and Thursdays by 11:59 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And you might get an additional one since we are a more condensed course, but always look here if you need a little frame of reference. All right? So let's look at just some of the core content. What are we even doing here in Contemporary World Lit? I'll be happy to share that. You'll notice here at the very top overview, there is a syllabus link. D2L is a little strange in that they don't let us have a bookmark over here with that name, or at least I haven't found a way to do it. So I put the syllabus under overview, but if you click the syllabus link in the toolbar, it'll take you to the same place. Now, a reminder, you can get to this page a couple of ways. Back from the home page, just to show you if D2L is new, click the content page and you'll do the same move here and you'll see these 3 main hallmarks for every course, and then these are the unique modules, or sort of like a chapters, the table of contents for our course. Again, under overview is our syllabus. It's in PDF form, so you're welcome to download it. I will always keep the most updated version. I don't anticipate much changes. I like to stick with our schedule, but just in case, I will always change this version here for you. So let's go over this quickly. As you know, the syllabus is the heart and soul of any course, and it's a great reference to come back to. I know the first time you look at it, there's a lot of stuff going on, so I just want you to hear the high points and come back and view it in your own time. So you've got all the details to contact me. I am not on campus this summer, so the best way to get in touch with me, well, email and message me here on D2L, either works fine, and we can always set up Zoom times for office hours. I am very available, like I'm around, so don't feel like you're imposing at all. I love to meet with students and chat. I know that can be a little awkward with the fully online format, but I'm down to Zoom. So if you need a Zoom appointment, just send me a message and we'll set one up there for you. This is a reminder about the course text. It just mirrors that initial announcement on the homepage. We'll be using this first text, Haroun and the Sea of Stories. Everyone needs to get a copy or access to that. It's by Salman Rushdie, and you've got the ISBN there. But then the other 2 texts mentioned, you just need to pick one. And there's a little more information on that to help you make an informed choice. But we'll have like 2 sections. The course will divide a little because we are condensed in our time. Realistically, just really covering 3 novels plus the poems I have in mind isn't realistic, so I've split those 2. So you get to make some choices there. So hold off buying, although they're both excellent, you might as well add them to your library, but you only need one of these latter 2. And any edition will do. I know the Norwegian Wood has been published in multiple editions. We Do Not Part is new, and a Nobel Prize winning author at that, with Han Kang. So that probably will look just like that one. Again, if you can get a hold of a physical copy or an online version from your public library, I did order these through our bookstore, so there should be both physical and e-text copies available for purchase. All other text outside of these will be provided for free in D2L. There'll be some poems, as you'll see. But you do need to get a hold of Salman Rushdie and one of these other 2 novels. So, talking a little about contemporary world literature, I'm providing you all this information, which if you're going to transfer courses or you're pursuing a degree are important to you, but I'm going to gloss them for now and get to what I think is really the heart of what we're doing. Contemporary world literature is, gosh, it's got my heart. So important right now, always. Literature in general is a chance to really express our humanness and connect to others in their humanness, right? We share our stories, we hear our voice, we connect those to other people's voices that have been shared. At the fundamental level, that's what literature does. And contemporary world literature takes the scope of that and broadens it fully, showing us the full human experience across vastly different cultures and geographical spaces. We are limited, at least in this course, by time period, although technically the course is post-World War II, so it's a pretty big swath of time as well. I have tended toward the more modern publications, although the Murakami actually looks back at 1960s Tokyo, so you get a little bit mid-century modern in there. But the big picture in here that I want to emphasize for the purposes of this online community, we're not about getting it right. We're about being open and sharing and basically just reveling in our humanness alongside that of the humanness of our writers. You are an important part of this. Every time I teach a class with literature, and I love this about English, it's totally different because the different students and voices and experiences that they bring to the table absolutely inform how that course is. So I mentioned at some point in the About Me, yes, I've read these novels before, but I've never read them with you and in this moment. So in that, I always learn something new. Literature delivers that way. Rereadings always produce more new meanings. And the people you share it with inevitably inform that. So I'm grateful that you're a part of this opportunity. And I just want to remind you from the academic integrity standpoint, right? That's the AI we want, academic integrity, over artificial intelligence. I know that the siren's call of AI is great, and I don't think it's wholly without meaning and purpose. I think AI has absolutely a place, but for our assignments, I ask that you really eschew all AI and give us your authentic voice. Worry less about being right or getting the M- correct. This isn't a composition class, and while I do want your ideas to be as polished as they can be and, clear enough for us to understand them, I want your real voice to come through. And I don't want you to be completely overly concerned about it being perfect or right or correct. Okay? So you'll find some information on that here, the more nuts and bolts of it. But be honest, be real, be yourself, and this won't be an issue. Also, of course, be respectful of each other. I think that can go without saying, but I'm going to mention it anyway because it is so important to the class and to the fact that we're already talking about other people's ideas and cultures, but inevitably we all coming to this course have those different backgrounds, cultural, religious beliefs, political ideas, etc., and we want to honor that. You can find a little bit about basic needs being met. As far as late work and participation, I believe in our humanness. I know life happens, so you will find I'm a pretty forgiving person in terms of allowing grace for late assignments if something arises. But with that in mind, I do take it seriously that our course stays together and on time. That's the only way it works. So try your absolute best. If something is happening, an emergency or extenuating circumstance, which I absolutely hope will not, but reach out at your first opportunity and let me know, so we can keep you in line and make sure you don't feel like you're losing touch with the community, all right? These are some excellent campus resources. I'm not going to go over them, but they're all linked through the college. Please consider using them and visiting them. I'll highlight a couple. The Writing Center is obviously a big deal. It's a little less available in the summer, though it is open, than in the typical school year, so check that out. They do have some online resources there, as well as the possibility to read your ideas and respond to you asynchronously. The library, come on, libraries are amazing. This is our library, but also if you're in a place you can't go to the campus library, although there are a lot of good resources online, visit your public library. Libraries are such a radical and yet basic human need, and they deserve our support. All right. This, again, very important. Please check these out if you feel any of these concerns, like accessibility or non-discrimination clause. Check these out, reach out to me immediately, and we've also got some resources here, but I'm happy to help. All right, so getting to the core of the course, I want you to look over these. There are going to be pages within the content to describe them, but essentially our course is broken into some very basic things. You've got your introductory materials, which includes going over the intro unit, a discussion, a quiz, and the chance to choose your own novel. Poetry journals will be due 3 times in this course, and they're 30% of your grade. They're basically a discussion post where you share and discover. We'll look at that. The discussion posts and replies are specific to the novels that we'll be reading. The first novel, the Rushdie novel, is together, and the other 2 you'll be split into groups, and you'll be discussing with people reading the same novel as you. And the final project, you notice these are neatly broken into 30%, except for the intro material, which is 10. We are a weighted graded course, is this Worlds in Conversation. Big picture stuff, but I ask that you look at it and have this idea in mind as you read. The course is a quick one. We are only together 6 weeks, so having that in mind could really serve you well as you look ahead. Main thing in the course is our reading schedule. This is the bread and butter that I want you to check on the syllabus regularly. I will be reminding you of this, and there should be those little updates that pop up on D2L letting you know something is due, but ultimately this is your best place to go to. All right, it lays out when everything is due. And as I mentioned, all the times are 11:59 p.m. for that day, just for ease, right? So right before midnight, typically, as you can see, Mondays and Thursdays. The main thing I want to highlight is the difference between discussion and replies and posts, which will become second nature to you very quickly. But your initial post will be, right, your 300-word idea. There's more There's more to guide you in that. But the replies mean they give you that next couple of days between Thursday and the following Monday to read your classmates' posts and reply to at least 2. More are always welcome, but that I found works better than having them all do it once. So you have a little bit of freedom there, and of course try to read some folks that aren't getting as many hits. That top of the list on the discussion board often gets the most attention. So you see our schedule laid out, and we wrap this course up on the 14th, which is a Thursday, and that is when your final projects will be due. As far as navigating the course, I just want to remind you of a couple of things. The Start Here module, all of this again will be linked in that opening intro. And I'm looking at this through a student view, so it's a little different than I'm accustomed to. But if you progress through these, basically like a presentation, right? A little bit more information about me and the course. And again, a chance to make sure you know how to contact me. These arrows in the bottom right hand will help you navigate through the next. I'm sure it's pretty intuitive. I've got this information. This might feel a little boilerplate, but again, that's important to have in case you're going to transfer or you just, are inquisitive and want to know what exactly is this course about. Progressing onward, I've got all the course assignments. These are the things I just really quickly glossed that were in your syllabus. They're here too, showing you how much they are weighted and what they entail. And if you progress past this, you're going to get even more detail on each of these. But I feel like the more we hit it, the more it gets ingrained. This is a page that will discuss your choice of novels. You'll have until the 10th this week to decide which of the 2 you would like to pick. And here are the instructions. Well, there's some background information on both texts, and then the instructions so that you can go ahead and sign up for your group. All right, so that will be what we're reading starting Unit 2. So you'll need the Rushdie, and we'll start that first. But I want you to go ahead and commit to the novel so you have time to get a hold of it. And just as I said, this course moves quickly. 6 weeks sounds like a lot now, but in terms of the summer, it always seems to go very fast. All right. Then you'll go to the subheading. This has a lot of helpful details that I will link in the assignments. So again, if you want to look a little bit more at what each kind of assignments that we have, what they look like, and little things like summary versus analysis, intertextuality. These are some things that we'll be talking about, and I will have linked again in the assignments, but just so you know, you can always come back here and check them out if you have questions. These are the main units. Within a unit, you're going to see something like this, an intro, a little bio or video about the author at hand, a literary tool that we're likely looking at. For the first one, we're going to talk about the use of satire because it's pretty prominent in the text. A little bit more information about what that is. And again, these are outside videos to kind of diversify. I mean, the course is about diversity, right? So I want you to have others' voices, not just my own, contributing to this educational experience. And of course, the author's voice himself is important here. I'll have some pre-reading questions for this unit, and then you can find the discussion posts. Those are part of the assignments. They'll be listed in here, as well as if you go under communication and click discussions, you can find them listed there as well. I'll hold off going over units 2 because those are the ones that we separate, but you can look at them. They're the same kind of format. Once you've picked your group, you should only have access to one of these if I've done it correctly. Just make sure it corresponds to the one that you pick, and let me know if you have any issues with that. I'm kind of feeling fancy using that feature on D2L, but it's still pretty new to me. All right. So that's all I've got for us for this intro video, but I hope that you will now navigate to, as again, it will be linked here on the first page, your start here that we just zoomed through, and don't forget to complete those 3 major first assignments. Your 7 nouns activity to introduce yourself to your classmates and talk a little bit more to each other, due this week. The introductory quiz, again, that's open access, not timed, as many times as you want to take it. Have anything open to help you, just to make sure you feel comfortable navigating the course. You can take it as many times as you like, so you can get 100% on that for sure. And the novel choice, where you pick which of these 2 novels you would like to use in Unit 2. And again, there's more information about those texts in the unit, so you can explore. You can always use Goodreads, Google it, whatever you would like. But I'm so glad to have you here, and please let me know if you have any questions, encounter any dead links, anything like that, and I'll see you all soon on the discussion boards. Take care.